What's up, guys? Back here with another video. So in this video we're going to be talking about why you need game. And I know the stigma with a lot of guys is I shouldn't have to play certain games when I have my girl. I shouldn't have to play these games. I shouldn't have to do these things. But what you have to understand is when it comes to relationship dynamics, things are a little nuanced. And I think one of the biggest mistakes guys make is thinking that once they get the girl, they don't have to work anymore. But it's never like that, right? Just as if you worked hard to get her and you had to game her and have some type of game to get her, now that you got her, it's not up. There's game for attracting girls and there's game for getting girls. And now she's your girlfriend, and now that she's your wife, you have to game her too. There's game for them too. And understand that playing games and having games are two different things, right? And then I think that this is one of the mistakes that a lot of men make, thinking that, oh, they don't want to associate with this player nonsense. All game is a way to influence or a way to make a woman's attraction go higher, or a woman's attraction be a lot more for you than just playing it by ear, just going day to day. Now obviously not all women are the same, and some women you can just be your natural self and that's enough for them. But those women are fewer than many, and that's not the majority we see here, right? Now, one thing you got to understand when it comes to women, a lot of women think that most men should treat them a certain way. A lot of women have this delusion that they are entitled to a certain treatment, or they should just be treated a certain way, and that's default, and that's it. But we all know that's not necessarily the case. And a lot of the times it seems like a delusion. And one of the biggest problems is, and one of the purposes is why you actually really need game, is when you give certain women certain treatment, they don't always necessarily show gratitude, right? And a lot of the times it can be taken for granted. And here's a perfect example of a video where a woman is talking about her past situation and how she took a guy for granted. But in what she's saying, you can see the problem, you can see the solution, you can see the answer in her words. Let's take a look.
I dated this man for a year, 9 years ago, and still to this day, he is the best boyfriend I have ever had, hands down. The hold that this man had on me, like, I really, until recently, would have dropped everything to be with this man again. He was one of the most romantic, thoughtful, sweet, like, all of the above boyfriends I think I've ever met in my life. On his days off, if I was working, he would come to my work, grab my car, like, wash it, clean it, fill up the tank, and then bring it back. He was always just doing, like, the most grandiose romantic gestures, like leaving notes for me, writing letters to me, giving thoughtful gifts, the absolute most, like, just worshipped the ground I walked. And I am being 100% honest when I say I totally took it for granted. I have no idea why this man stayed with me or loved me so much, because I was terrible to him and, like, just thought it was a given that a man does these things.
And there we have it. Perfect example. This woman said she dated this man for a year, and this is the best man. This is the best treatment that she's gotten from a man in almost a decade. She said 9 years. That's crazy. But very specifically, what she said, I don't know why this man did this, why he treated me so good when I treated him so bad, right? And this is what guys have to understand. It's nothing wrong with treating your woman good. It's nothing wrong with being nice. It's nothing wrong with having nice gestures, especially when you're dating somebody. But what you have to understand is that there needs to be a slow progression, right? And one of the solutions to this is, because a lot of the times men will treat a woman a certain way and they may treat them so nice, but not understanding that when you treat a woman this certain way and you just give everything off the back and there's no working for it and it's just consistent well treatment, a lot of the times you can get taken advantage of. And I think that this is a part of the reason. It's, relationships are a lot more nuanced than just good treatment, but I think this is a part of the reason why divorce rates are so high. For example, if I were to give you a rose, right? Let's say if I give you a rose and then every day I give you this rose, and what happens? Eventually you'll start to take it for granted. Why? Because it's always coming, it's always consistent, it's never something that is stopping. It is always there, it's not going anywhere. And after a while you're going to be like, well, he's going to give me a rose tomorrow. Yep, he gave me a rose. Because when you're doing this consistently, what that does is that takes the fun out of it. That takes the surprise out of it. That takes the element out of it, right? You drink water every day, right? If I drink some water, I'm not going to say, damn, I need some water. No, I know it's going to be there. I know where to get it. There's different types of it. It's in abundance. So it's something that we may not necessarily, take into consideration when we want things. It's something that we might take for granted. So with that being said, when you give this perfect treatment all the time, sometimes it can be taken for granted if it's consistent. So, what is necessarily the solution? Obviously, a progression. Obviously, this doesn't apply to all people. If something isn't broke, don't fix it, right? So if you're not dealing with the type of woman where you need to do this all the time, then obviously that's not something you need to do. But there needs to be a progression. And one of the keys to this is anxiety. Now, the Journal of Psychological Science had put out a study saying that women are more attracted to men when there's a level of anxiety. Now, what is anxiety exactly? Anxiety is when a woman is anxious. There's different types of anxiety. There's separation anxiety. There's competition anxiety. For example, a man that's speaking to his wife all day, always up under her, never taking any space. Taking space can be deemed as some type of anxiety. You not talking while you're at work can be deemed as a level of anxiety, right? But when it comes to behavior like this is why game is needed. And you need to be consistently unpredictable. For example, if I give my woman a rose, she's not going to know when the next time she's going to get it. For a few reasons. Why? Because I want her to be grateful for it. I want her to understand that this is something special. This is a nice gesture. I'm doing this because I care about you and I love you, and I don't want you to take this for granted, right? So when I do something nice, I'm not abusing it. It's not coming always. It's on special occasions, but nevertheless, I'm still doing it. Now, you don't want to be extreme like the red pill guys who, say, oh, don't do anything nice. Don't be a simp. You're giving flowers. No, that's extreme. It's not even realistic. How is the girl ever going to fucking like you? Now, there are some women that are a glutton for pain and, they are masochists and they love being treated like shit, right? But this is not the type of people that we want, right? And when you filter women out, you usually, if you do a good job, which most men aren't even aware of how to do, you won't run into this issue. I think most people are, can choose a decent person. But a lot of the times, most women do run on this type of timing. Most women, do fall into this category where a level of anxiety and anxiousness will make them even more attractive. So, with that being said, you need to understand that having a level of anxiety, being consistently unpredictable, right? And understanding where you need to have your highs and lows. Highs and lows are the keys to long-term relationships. Everything can't just be all highs. Some women will deliberately start arguments because everything is going so well. And some women are so used to trauma bonding. Some women are so used to fucked up relationships that when they get something good and they get a good thing, a lot of the times it's not enough for them because they're used to the chaos. They're used to the drama. And when they don't have it, they seek it one way or another, or they will get bored. And that reminds me of a clip. It was an old clip by Kevin Samuels, And he was basically saying that, women that get bored are usually women that like to get cheated on. Now, that does sound a little crazy, but when you take everything that I said into consideration and the way that he words it, it's absolutely crazy. And let's play the clip.
A man who is cheating on his woman has a woman who is involved. What I mean, you got to give us something to worry about, gentlemen. One thing that women hate more than anything else is being bored. And when you don't cheat, you're boring. When you don't cheat, you're boring. When you are at home up under her butt, sniffing up under her, telling her that she's everything you want her to be, she'll love that for about that long. And the next thing you know, she'll be shebanga banging your best friend. I didn't make women the way they are. I don't write the rules. I don't have the software, but one thing that I know, you better give your woman something to worry about, because the worst thing you can do with a modern woman is to let her feel comfortable.
And that is 1,000% of the truth. Now, I'm not advocating you go out and cheat on your wife or cheat on your girlfriend. No. But there are little things that you can do to implement in your relationship that will perhaps maybe think that you are, or perhaps maybe she may imply that you are, right? When you switch things up in your relationship and you don't stick to that day-to-day routine that you normally do, just to make her think, just to make her miss you, just to make her think, damn, did he really turn me down from sex? Right? And these are the type of things, by the way, guys, subscribe to Patreon, because this is the type of content, exclusive content that we have on there, implementing the different types of anxiety. But honestly, being consistently unpredictable and understanding that when a woman is bored, especially women that are used to chaos. Now, obviously, I would advise that you don't choose a woman that's used to chaos, but a lot of the times you're already in this situation, you're already in this type of relationship, and you don't even know it. And a lot of the times men tend to do anything to fix their relationship, especially when they're in love. But a lot of the times men need to understand women aren't like the gym. Women aren't like making money. The harder you go for it, the more results you see. Yes, you can get the knowledge, but you need to do it in a certain way. You don't just give. Oh, I love you, buy more gifts, take you out, spend more time. They don't operate like that. You have to go about things in a certain manner. You have to go about things in a certain way. Especially when you have a particular type of woman. And this is why guys need game. And remember, having game is not playing games. And understanding that this is specifically relationship dynamics. And this is usually one of the things that are contingent on having a successful relationship, is that man understanding her, understanding relationship dynamics, and understanding what it takes necessarily to be in a successful relationship. But anyway, guys, that's it for now. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back with more videos, more quality videos like this. And I'm out of here.